I don't even know if the Patriots are going to lose 38-9, 46-9, whatever the score is. I'll just put it in the chat, the little description box later. But today was the worst performance I have seen as a New England Patriots fan in my life. I have been on this earth for 17 years. Now, on the other hand, the New England Patriots had 18 straight seasons where they won at least 9 games. So I will give them that. However, this is the absolute worst dog shit performance I have seen as a Patriots fan in my life. And I saw the shit show that was in Kansas City in 2014. This is worse. The defense sucks. The offense sucks. The special teams is meh. It's just like a shit show, dude. Honestly, I couldn't watch the last 5 minutes. You know, just like I had Stephon Diggs in fantasy. Thank you, Stephon, for winning my fantasy league. And thank you for exposing the Patriots as a fucking terrible team at drafting. Now, the other problem is, we're 6-10. Most years that gets you like the number 10 overall pick. Not us, because we have one of the harder strengths of schedule this year. That goes against us in the draft. We're projected, the 14th, 15th pick in this year's draft? That's usually for a team that goes 7-9. Even if we go 6-10, we're not getting in the top 10. There's too many other teams that are worse than us. All right? I know it's hard to imagine. There's teams worse than the New England Patriots after tonight. And it's like, you just see it on the field every single time. It's like offense, Cam Newton is a quarterback that his shoulder is just gone. I'm going to say it. His shoulder injury probably ruined him. And Josh McDaniels doesn't really know how to deal with a guy whose shoulder is fucked. The only good receiver on this team is Jacoby Myers. And on every other team in the NFL, he'd be a number 3 guy. In the department of this guy, I get his jersey. Because he's like the only guy I think is going to be on this team next year. J.C. Jackson gets burned by Stephon Diggs all night, who gets 3 touchdowns. Who else is on this roster? Chase Winovich getting penalties. Literally tonight was the example of the worst football I have seen in my life. And this team is just bad. All right? If we had Tom Brady, we'd go 8-8. I don't think we face Buffalo, we face these teams, and we just suck. We're bad. And next year doesn't have much promise because it's not like, it's just the quarterback. No, it's the quarterback, it's the wide receivers, it's the defensive line, it's the linebackers, it's the fact that our best defensive player was out. It's the fact that, there's a lot. There is a lot that needs to be fixed. Now, do I think it's going to be a full-scale 5-year rebuild where we end up being like the Detroit Lions or the Cincinnati Bengals where we can't do shit? No, I think it might be like a 1-year, 2-year thing where we get maybe lucky on some draft picks like the Seahawks do. But if we know Bill Belichick in a draft, we know he sucks and it gets bailed out by undrafted players. So his early round picks are definitely going to be bust, and his late round picks are going to be all pros. There's really nothing else to say. This team has proven time and time again that it needed Tom Brady, that the Patriots need to have somebody else draft instead of Bill. Or maybe if Ernie Adams is doing this draft, which he might be doing because he gets infatuated with these short wide receivers, maybe somebody else should tell him, hey, don't draft the short guy, draft the big guy that looks like Megatron. I don't think as a as a Patriots fan, Bill Belichick is the best coach in NFL history. but he's certainly not a guy you want drafting people, making a decision of, okay, who's going to be our next good who's going to be a better wide receiver, who's going to be a better defensive lineman, who's going to, they could draft offensive linemen every day. They pop out all pros every single draft. Quarterback, well, I mean, they signed Cam because he was the last guy there, and they didn't want to sign Bridgewater. They didn't want to sign Winston. They didn't want to sign Phillip Rivers. They didn't want to sign anyone. They didn't attempt to. What they really want to do is they wanted Jimmy G back. Like, the whole thing is, if Tom Brady gone back to the 49ers, they would have gotten their gold boy, Jimmy G, and who knows what the 49ers are going to do. They're in the same, we have the same record as them. We're probably going to finish the same place. We're probably going to both be like 7-9. Or maybe they go 6-10, we go 7-9. Who knows? All I know is this. The San Francisco 49ers might be giving up Jimmy G. And I know Bill Belichick would love to have Jimmy G back because he knows the offense and he'd be fine under McDaniels. Here's the problem with Jimmy G. He gets injured and sits on your IR for half the time. Sure, he'll lead you to a Super Bowl when he's healthy. He had literally the best defense one of the best defenses in the NFL. And he had George Kittle. Give me a fucking break. What do you think he's going to do with this team? This is, like, in my dreams, in like my perfect reality, kumbaya, whatever, we get Dak Prescott, who is probably going to be, like, the path he was on. He was going to get 6,000 yards. He was going to win MVP. He was going to get paid like $42 million until he broke his ankle. But, I am just hoping that we can get a quarterback. We can get some wide receivers. Like, all I need is one of these wide receivers. I want Godwin, but I'd be fine with Golladay. I'd be fine with Allen Robinson. Hell, I'd be fine with Juju. As much as he does his little Corvette thing. I just want something. I want something to give me hope because this team does not give me hope. All right. I'll see you guys next week. I don't know if I'm going to do like a more general recap after the game or if I'm going to do like a season recap instead. But I mean, yeah, this is probably like my last, one of my last videos in here. Because I'm going to be doing Patriots fan reactions in my college dorm room next year. Yep. I'm going to be doing them in a tiny dorm room. So this room right here. All right, I'll see you guys next week.